All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I've putting some training content out there for you guys. Actually, I think the last time I put some current content out, I was getting ready for my first pro show. Now I'm here fresh off of a California state championship win, and that pretty much punched my ticket to the 2019 Mr. Olympia contest. To say the least, I mean, obviously I went to the contest last year for the first time. I actually went to the competition. I couldn't have told myself, hey, you're gonna be on that stage next year, but here we are. You know, we put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, dieting, cardio, hard training over the past year, and it really paid off. You know, I went to California last year. I did the competition in 2018. Placed 8th, and this year I actually moved up to 1st. So obviously, you know, it spoke volumes as to how hard I worked in the off season. So now here we are, and we're prepping for the 2019 Mr. Olympia Championship. So for me, you know, I always talk about improving, bringing up body parts and stuff like that. So arguably, probably the best improvement I made over the last year was my legs. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do some training, and when I say we, you guys, I'm here training with my longtime best friend, my training partner / trainer, this guy Gabriel Salas. You'll see him a lot more and more. You might have seen him in some clips that we had backstage at the California State Championships, but he's the guy that got me started in bodybuilding. And this was back, you know, before I even thought about picking up a weight or contest or getting on stage. You know, I wasn't even thinking twice about competing, but now I am. Here I am, you know, embarking on the hardest prep at the top level, you know, at the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So enough talk, you know, we're gonna get after these legs. We're gonna start with some calves. Today's primary quadriceps, so we're gonna pound some quads, do some squats, leg press, just whatever. You know, we usually kind of wing it, but like I said, this is the biggest contest, Super Bowl of bodybuilding, so we're gonna do a lot of volume, as heavy a weight as possible. We're about 13 weeks out from the contest. So without further ado, let's get to work. Like I said, it's been such a while since we put some content out. We actually were getting ready for my first pro show, and it's cool because we kind of skipped a level. You know, I didn't get a chance to get the last prep, but I guess it kind of turns out to be a good thing because I did the New York Pro because I wanted to have the best competition out, you know, that was out there. And normally, going by history, some of the biggest names, you know, experienced athletes going to do the New York Pro, and I just felt like I wanted to go and measure myself up against those guys, and then that would give me the fuel I needed to come back home and get to work. And so that's what happened in the past year. I know I put a lot of content out over Instagram and social media and stuff like that, but that's nothing, that doesn't even scratch the surface of the type of work I was actually doing, you know. So this time I try to do a little bit different, give you guys as much content as I actually can. Like, these are the actual workouts. You know, every exercise, all the reps, all the sets. You don't have to buy an app or subscribe to anything. Just go to YouTube. It's all free. And I'm giving you guys exactly the training that I'm doing. And per the usual, just always start the workout with the calves because it's the smallest muscle group that you're gonna train in legs. So when your energy's high, might as well go ahead and knock it out. Get out of the way before you get to the bigger compound movements and you're tired and gassed and exhausted at the end, trying to build up one of the toughest muscle groups in the body. All you guys know out there, trying to build those calves up can be a struggle sometimes. So you start with them, get a good pump, and then off you go to the other bigger muscle groups. So usually the 5th or 6th sets, depending on how many that I'm actually doing per exercise, I usually end with a drop set just to get as much blood into the muscle as possible. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do right here, so we're using the Smith machine, right? But place these plates on the bottom, because obviously you can't get an extension on a negative, you know, flat on the floor. So I put these 2 plates right here, and that's what's gonna give you the stretch that you need on the downside. And a little tip that my trainer taught me, you doing these, try to squeeze your glutes together and your hamstring, and it really hits the calf a little bit differently. And you wanna try to increase this a plate at a time, if possible. If not, 25s are just fine, but just make sure each set you increase the weight. So nutrition, everything, my meal plan that I've been following from Chris Aceto, it's still the same. We didn't have a huge rebound. Once we figured that, you know, he made the call that we were doing the show, then pretty much just ran the diet all the way through. So not having many cheat meals and stuff. Had a burger here and there, but you know, once you're once you do all that work for a show to get down to the lowest possible body fat and the best conditioning, you don't really want to ruin it for, you know, just some meals. You know, self-control. It's all about mindset. I talk about that a lot because once this show was over, of course I wanted to eat certain foods and stuff like that, but I had to pick one or two. Am I gonna stay in good shape and try to rebound? Well, during that rebound phase, putting more muscle back on, or if I want to retain a lot of water and, you know, put back on body fat that I was gonna ultimately have to get off anyways, getting ready for the contest. So we decided to run the diet straight through. Weight kind of has settled in, you know, around the 250 mark. So the goal is to grow into the show because I don't put on body fat very easily. So might as well stay in good condition. And this way it'll make the drop easier. You know, this time around we did I believe it was a total 16-week prep. So doing it this way, there just may be a 6 to 8 week hard prep. When I say hard prep, that means really strict. You know, absolutely no cheat meals, no messing around on a diet, no Reese's. You know, you guys know I love Reese's. Funny story about that, I'll tell you guys after Olympia, but not right now. Normally I'll have about 3-4 exercises I'll do on calves depending on time frame and if I train them, because there's some weeks where I'll train calves twice and there's some weeks where I'll train them 3 times. When it comes to calves, I don't really set the number of days that I train them. It's just whenever they recover, then that's when I go ahead and hit them again. I'm real big on instinct training. I think a lot of you guys who follow my previous workouts know that. I don't really follow an exact structure. I just know the amount of reps I'm shooting for is 20. I'll throw the drop sets in every now and then, but you know, there's not ever any set amount or set days that I train a muscle group. When it's recovered and it's ready to go, it feels good, get in the gym and train it. All right, guys, so calves are done. We just did a couple of different variations. Like I said earlier, we did one standing with the standard calf raise, and then we use a Smith machine to do standing calf raises as well. So now we're gonna get into the workout. So first things first, start with some leg extensions. As always, you know, you gotta get the blood flowing, get your knees warmed up. Even you younger guys, you know, that go straight to squats. I've seen that so many times. You go straight to a heavy leg press or something like that, but it's really smart to work with a movement like this to just get everything warm and get some blood flowing before you get to big compound movements. So we're gonna opt out to do banded leg extensions today. So this is something I think you guys have seen me post on my social media. Not my idea. This is my buddy, my trainer's idea. It does give a nice pull and resistance at the bottom. So, and on the top end, because you actually get negative resistance. So there's tension all the way through the movement. Instead of just letting your knees slam back down, relaxing, you actually have the band that's pulling them. So you really have to give it a little bit of work on both sides, not just the positive movement. So it makes this 45 actually feel a little bit heavier. So it feels really good. Like I said, you get tension all the way through the movement. So time and attention, that's huge versus just throwing a bunch of plates on there, because leg extension, I've seen a lot of guys put a ton of weight on there, 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates. Those will usually be the guys that you see later on down the line or, you know, have some knee issues. May not be anything too serious, but that's how you can develop little nagging aches and pains that could be in your tendon, you know, tendon in your knee, your patella tendon, something like that, because you have all that weight that's coming down on the negative side. So, like I always say, train hard, train smart. Number 7 to 20 reps. So, volume, high volume, even though we're increasing the weight, try to keep those reps high as possible, because the more reps, more blood flow, build more muscle. See what I did there? More muscle. 2 O's, not 1. See, it's stuff like that that definitely helped me improve my legs. There was a lot of that last prep. There was a lot of holds, a lot of time and retention, and it works. It works, guys. And that, like I said, it wasn't crazy heavyweight, 3 plates, but with that added resistance from the band, makes it feel more like 4 or 5, but it's so much easier on the knees, you know? And I've been blessed, or smart enough, I guess I should say, to have not had any injuries, you know, in my 16 years of lifting weights. No nagging pains, no surgeries, no, none of that, you know? So it's a huge blessing. And that's why when I train, you know, I just be completely in tune with my body. And you guys hear me talk a lot about not just moving the weight, but actually contracting the muscle. So train like that, you can prevent a lot of injuries. A lot of guys will hit me up, say I have tendonitis in the elbow, knees, stuff like that. Tell them, you know, it may be the way you're doing the exercises, and maybe even a particular exercise that you're doing, but just explore the options when you're training to what feels better on the muscle and not so harmful on the internal parts, the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, the things you can't see, you know? Not easy work, so I'm not even gonna say easy work or light work. Shit is hard. But you wanna be a champion, you gotta have to work hard. Because I know these other guys are out there training hard too, you know. So one thing I never pride myself on is the work I'm doing. Because I'm not the only hard worker. I work my ass off, but these other guys are training hard too. But at the same time, I have to work harder than they do in my own mind. Because every time I come in this gym, I'm battling with them, fighting them every day for that center spot, top 5 placement, you know, for better positioning on stage. So I keep that in mind when it's tough and I want to stop on these sets, you know, or I feel like that's enough. Nah, I just think about what last place feels like, because I've been there before. Then I think about what first place feels like, because I've been there before. So when I think about those 2 things, it's like, man, your ass better finish this set. You better do those extra reps, do those extra minutes of cardio, get that food in, you know. That's what it takes. So what we're gonna do now, guys, this is a Cybex squat press. A little bit different than your conventional leg press, but I like it because it slopes and it kind of is a little bit easier on your back, your lower back. If you guys know, when you're getting heavy on leg press, your lower back can try to get involved and cause your erectors to get kind of tight. This actually allows you, if you want to go deeper, your back to actually curve. So, and another benefit is it also hits your hamstrings and glutes. But what we're gonna do, instead of doing your normal or generic foot placement, we're gonna go a little bit lower. But to do that, you know, you really have to have good mind muscle connection with your quads to keep the tension off your knees. But the lower your feet are, you'll notice that it hits more of the quad and less of the hamstring and glutes. The higher your foot placement on this particular leg press, actually any leg press, then it's gonna hit more of your hamstrings and glutes. So we're gonna opt for a lower foot placement so we can hit only the quads. So now you guys, we're kind of like midway through the workout. I always like to look at it like the third and fourth movement are always gonna be like the top of the workout, the top, because you have a couple movements to get the blood in there, which we utilize the leg extensions, but those extra sets, the drop sets, the extra reps, those are the ones that put the blood in. So once that was done, now we go to the big compound movements. Start with leg press. Sometimes start with squat first, hack squat, whatever is on the menu, but today, start with this leg press. May ultimately do a drop set, not really sure, but see how my body feels. Then we'll go to a squat movement, some type of isolation movement. I'll probably be wrapping it up then. So I always say, you try to get 5-6 exercises in any particular workout. By that time, especially doing 20 reps per set, you have to think that's 500 reps. If we're doing 5 sets, 5 exercises, 500 reps, that's a lot. And it's not just lightweight, it's just considerably heavy weight that I'm pushing for this high volume. A lot of guys don't train like that, which is cool, but I know for me, that worked for my body. Obviously, I've improved in a year, so we're just gonna keep on chipping away. Excuse the profanity, but that shit hurts. It burns. Today's a little bit different. I normally don't train so late in the evening. It's almost 10 p.m. And I've had a chance to eat more food. I have noticed when I have a chance to get more carbs in during the day, the workouts, of course, can be better because you have more fuel, but the pump's crazy. You get so much blood in the muscle that it's just almost hard to move. That wasn't there, the weight was heavy, but so much blood is just tough to move it. Now we're gonna go to a squat variation. Once I catch my breath, get some more sets in and get ready to wrap this workout up for the evening, because I still gotta eat and I have to get some rest. I've been going since I've been back from California. Hey, a lot of people, even during the prep, I was up at 5 a.m. I wasn't going to sleep until sometimes at 1 a.m. because I had fasted cardio. I prep my own foods, cook my own meals. So early morning, late nights, and it can be taxing. So gotta make sure you get that rest in. So like I said, we'll go to a squat variation. Get ready to wrap things up. So one foot slightly in front of the other, but not quite back like a traditional, lunge or one-legged squat. But if you keep the tension on your heel and the outside portion of your foot, then you'll hit, all your quad. And it's really good because it takes tension off your lower back. You guys might look at that and think, man, this 135 is not a lot of weight. When your legs are already pumped and you're doing it correctly, you're gonna feel it. 135 will feel like 235, especially 15, 20 reps. All right, so you guys saw we did was isolation. Had to take a quick minute because I trained back yesterday, and y'all did a heavy barbell rows, bent over rows, and some rack pulls. So you always doing legs and back to back. You risk that possibility of having some lower back tightness. So you guys see me hobbling around, it's because my lower back's tight from working hard. Now we're gonna do some inner, outer thighs, adductor, abductor. This way you build thickness throughout, between your legs, and you also hit the glutes with the abductor. And with these particular movements, you guys, you don't have to go heavy and put the whole stack on there because it's a smaller muscle group and you really get more out of it focusing on the contraction versus the amount of weight. But when you're, with your competitor, you're standing on stage and you're facing the front or the back, you know, in those relaxed poses, any pose really, that inner thigh is gonna be visible. So that's a muscle group too. So you wanna try to build that up, and the adductor is an excellent way to do that. Also, when you do some isolation movements like lunges, stuff like that, or single leg press, that can also hit the inner thigh. But you gotta cover every angle, every angle. And I know these aren't the most exciting movements, these two, but you know, guess what guys, I'm a bodybuilder, not a power lifter. So little movements like this build detail, you know, and if you're a good bodybuilder, then you know it's all in the details. So I know you guys probably want to see yelling and screaming and squatting 5, 6 plates or, you know, what have you. Some guys do that and that's good for them, but you know, like I said, you gotta stay injury free and you want to bring the best detailed, most detailed package to the stage. So y'all, tell you guys, your competitors, your bodybuilders, not power lifters, that's how you keep from getting injured. You can't do anything, you're on the sideline. So you guys see the girls doing these exercises, you better start following those ladies. So how we go from adductor to abductor. So adductor, inner thighs, and abductor, more glutes and outer thigh. So you want to do that because, like I said, I mean, your butt, your glutes, that's a muscle too. So, you know, you want to train that and build it up. It's not, like I said, I know it seems like I'm being funny, but training your glutes is not just for girls. So you don't want to be one of those guys that, you know, put on pants or shorts and your back just goes straight down. I mean, so that's what these exercises are for. They may seem very simple, but you know, complete physique, especially for your competitors. You know, do those small things, do the little things. It makes a big difference. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for, you know, quad day. Like I said, you know, legs is the muscle group that I focus the most on bringing up, especially since, you know, I turned pro back in 2017. I did a great job bringing them up over the past couple of years, and as you can see, based on today, you know, they're only gonna get better. I know this isn't, there'll be those people who are like, oh, let's see an arm workout or shoulder workout, back workout, chest. Those videos will come, but you know, this is just to give you guys an idea of, like I said, what was arguably the best body part that I was able to improve over the past year from my rookie season to my sophomore season. And now, like I said, we're on prep for the 2019 Mr. Olympia contest. There'll be a lot of content to come. So you guys just, you know, hit that blue button, click the link, go to the YouTube channel. And like I said, subscribe to the channel. You'll get the updates as soon as we put the videos out, and I'll try to keep them coming as quick as possible. And like I said, until next time, we'll see you guys back here at Raw Gym as we continue on this road to the Olympia 2019.